Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into what is maybe the single most critical decision you'll ever make as a founder, and that's choosing your co-founder. I mean, get this wrong, and your startup could be dead on arrival no matter how brilliant your idea is.
Yeah, exactly. Your co-founder isn't just a partner in crime. They are literally part of your pitch. You got to remember, investors aren't really backing ideas, they're backing teams. And who you choose to build with, that's the biggest signal you can send about whether you're going to make it or break it.
Okay, so let's talk about what happens in those early meetings. At the pre-seed stage, investors are betting on your chemistry. Seriously. They're looking right through your slide deck, trying to figure out one thing. Can your relationship handle the insane pressure of a startup? Because trust me, that pressure is coming. And this has a name. Investors call it team risk, and it is a huge deal. It's the silent killer of so many startups. They've seen it a million times. A great idea, a great market, but the company just implodes because the founders can't work together when things get tough. So that's the big question, right? What are they really looking for? What are those specific signals that make an investor lean in and think, okay, this team has what it takes?
All right, let's get into it. Let's look at the real co-founder checklist. And spoiler alert, it has almost nothing to do with fancy resumes. It's all about alignment and the deep down dynamics of how you two actually work together.
Okay, investors are basically scanning for three things. One, skills that complement each other in a way that actually multiplies your output. Think 1 + 1 = 3. Two, a shared, undeniable urgency. You both have to be all in right now. And three, and this is the big one, a very specific kind of trust.
So let's talk about what trust really means to an investor. It's not about loyalty or just, being friends and avoiding tension. No. In the startup world, trust equals speed. It's the ability to move incredibly fast because you don't have to constantly check each other's work. It's being able to disagree, hash it out, and move on without delay.
And you can bet they're looking for signs that this kind of trust isn't there. These are the red flags. Like if one of you isn't full-time yet, or if you get fuzzy when they ask who does what, or the classic. So how do you two handle disagreements? If you can't answer that crisply, it screams misalignment.
So how do you avoid all these red flags? Well, the answer might surprise you. It's actually a bit counterintuitive. You don't pick a co-founder based on friendship. You pick them for friction, productive friction.
I love this quote. It just nails it, right? Picking a co-founder because you get along is like picking a co-pilot because they're a good DJ for the road trip. That's great, until you hit a massive storm. You need someone who knows how to fly the plane when things get really, really bad. And that's the whole point. The best founding teams are not conflict-free. They are conflict-capable. You want someone who challenges you, who pushes back, who makes your ideas better. That friction, that's a sign of strength, not weakness. So how do you find that person? You have to test the relationship. And I mean, really test it. Before you even whisper the word equity, do a project together. Build something. Solve a real messy problem. See what happens when you're in the mud, not just on a nice clean whiteboard. See how you disagree. That's where you find out if it's real. All right, so let's say you've found that person. You've pressure tested the relationship. Now you have to turn that partnership into a fundraising asset. Because your team's story, that's not just a nice little anecdote. It's a critical part of your pitch. Every single investor is going to ask you this. So, how did you two meet? Why are you building this together? And trust me, it's not small talk. They're probing. They're trying to figure out if your partnership is intentional or just random. And man, is there a difference between a weak and a strong answer. A weak answer is like, oh, we met in school and I needed a coder. It sounds accidental. A strong answer is, we worked on 3 projects together, we learned exactly how we disagree, and we realized our skills cover each other's blind spots. See the difference? One is mature, deliberate. It shows you've done the work. You have to remember, your team's story is a signal. It tells an investor everything about your potential for future execution. It's a predictor of how you'll handle the chaos.
And listen, what really kills investor confidence isn't some imbalance in the team. It's being surprised by it. If there are gaps, maybe one of you is still part-time, just be upfront about it. Address it head on. Honesty builds trust. Surprises? Well, surprises destroy it.
Okay, so what if you're going it alone? What if you haven't found that perfect co-founder yet?
Don't panic. You're not necessarily at a disadvantage, but you absolutely have to be intentional about it.
The number one biggest mistake solo founders make is waiting. Waiting for the perfect partner to start building. Don't do it. Your greatest asset right now is momentum. Just keep building, keep shipping, keep learning. Traction is a magnet.
Look, being solo means clarity is your strength. You will get asked these questions, so have your answers ready. Why are you solo? Is it by choice? How are you filling the gaps right now? What are you looking for in a partner? Having thoughtful answers shows you're strategic, not just stranded. Because at the end of the day, potential co-founders are way more attracted to traction than they are to just a vision. And you know who else is? Investors. So build that signal, show that progress, and you'll find that the right people and the right money start coming to you.
So let's wrap this up. The big takeaway here is that your co-founder isn't just your partner in building a product. They are your partner in raising capital. Choosing them is a massive strategic fundraising decision. So I want you to ask yourself this. Is your co-founder relationship an asset or a liability in your next investor meeting? Because that dynamic, that trust, that shared history of overcoming challenges, that might just be the most valuable thing you have. Choose wisely.